Get ready. Get set. And hold on. It's going to be one heck of a ride. Good morning. Welcome to the Mouth of Matuszak show for this Tuesday, September 2nd, 2014. And yes, we took yesterday off, folks. We were hoping to announce something later yesterday or sometime early this morning, but we're going to have to hold on for that announcement till a later date and time. For those of our listeners out there who don't know, we are looking for another channel, or we're setting up another channel for our broadcast, kind of going off into our own instead of piggybacking off of another one, as we have been. So we'll be branching off on our own, a little bit more autonomy, a little bit more ability to do what we would like, a little bit more flexibility in the show schedule, a little bit more flexibility in length, and the ability to have special shows at special times other than our normal time. We'll be able to schedule that, and then we'll be able to schedule special broadcasts as well. And we'll also be able to bring people in and schedule them in for other times. If all goes as planned. We've run into a couple snags, and we're hoping to actually launch with the show today, but it didn't come about that way. So, of course, we didn't go and announce, hey, go to us on this station, and at the last minute have to drag everybody back. As soon as we know that we're going to be able to launch the new site, the new show, the new channel, we will let you know. And we'll try to get you know a couple days in advance so that you can be prepared to change over. Anyway, since the show's off to this great start on this Tuesday morning, let's get your week going good, since it was kind of slow having yesterday off for most people. So let's listen to the Powdered Zombies kind of kick us off for the day.
Mr. America, look what you've done.
Yeah, looking at the country is not what I intended. Gotta start to make a change before the never-ending story of a failed nation runs straight out of luck. Like a million Tyler Perry movies, you suck. All you little have life is still selfish. You want more voting in your self-interest now instead of the core principles that made this country both honest and true. Free to speak, worship, pursuit of your happiness too. With all the money you fly, you gon' be needing a big freeze. Hate the size of the Fed like Jesus hated the fig tree. As the spending goes up, you gotta borrow some more. Borrowing from the Chinese like, oh my lord. Instead you just tax more, yet increasing the size of the federal government. Yeah, the Georgia surprise, you'll be done like Detroit. Man, no, you ain't coming back. Forget it, I'm out, I'm muzzle loading my
Mr. America, look what you've done. You trade your liberty and sovereignty for lies and promises. Mr. America, don't you run away. You pick up pieces up and face the problems, you'll be great again. I got tired of rolling over in my grave every day, making a monarchy of my beloved US of A. You little glitches need reminding of what we were before, and the sits that led us up to revolutionary war. High taxes to the throne without a voice of our own. Rule top down from the crime we wanted left alone. Oh, y'all so soft, you're taking it year after year. We were fighting red coats while we're brewing our beer. Now I'm drinking, spitting ciphers through a grill made of wood. That's how it all went down in G-Dub's neighborhood. Packing cannon balls like powder hammers with cock, lock, click, clack. The loss of backs like the attack. The chicken littles who don't know me, listen, don't let it twist. We kick the A's of the B's for much less than this. So don't deny the historical climbing out of the mud. Follow me, believe the screed, plant the seeds and be free. America, look what you've done. You trade your liberty and sovereignty for lies and promises. Mr. America, don't you
hear me? Classes in session, you can't be saved by the bell. What happens when you keep printing more dough? Both parties have gone green like their name was Al Gore. Yeah, but right now you're high. Hey, ain't you big hitter? But now I'm back from the dead. I'm bringing back all my knickers. What, knickers? No, it's okay. I can say knickers because I wear knickers. Man, you think I say that? What's wrong with you? I'm just talking about my show back then. I rock with my shoe. But let's go back to the first point I was trying to make. The degradation of our freedoms and a country at stake. The government's getting grand while private sector grows smaller. Pour one out for your homies, cause here comes the cold water. Unemployment still rising, a desk growing still. The only change you're gonna get is being left with the bill.
Mr. America, look what you've done. Betrayed your liberty and sovereignty for lies and promises. Mr. America, don't you run away. You pick up pieces up and face the problems. You'll be great again, Mr. America. Whoa, whoa, Mr. America. Whoa, whoa.
Yeah, I know you missed it yesterday morning, but you could listen to it on the podcast because I've got most of the shows archived over at pg-matuszak, Matuszak, .blogspot.com, where you can go and listen, or up on the Mental Aikido YouTube channel. You can find a good portion, most of the shows archived there for podcast and listen at your leisure, which many of you are probably already know and already doing. Anyway, this is Paul-Gregory Matuszak, and I've got a little bit of an interesting way to kick off this week. I want to let everybody know what kind of torture I am currently going through. Yes, I'm being masochistic and torturing myself. I'm a long-time smoker, folks. I started smoking in my early 20s and got myself hooked relatively quickly, and attempted quitting a couple of times in my youth, and it didn't stick. I think the longest I was able to quit for before was like 4 or 5 months. But we're giving another go of it. The free-range Texan and I kind of came to a little bit of an agreement here, and I promised I was going to do my best to cut back, and she was going to support me without nagging. As soon as she started nagging, she realized it didn't work very well, but she started being more supportive and paying attention and being encouraging. And I told her that once I was able to get on an average of less than like 6 or 7 cigarettes a day, that I would do my best to go cold turkey at that point, because I had been advised before that I was so long-term deeply addicted that I would need the special medications. I think there's 2 of them. One's an antidepressant, and the other one blocks nicotine from entering your system after a while, and it's supposed to like taper you off from the addiction or whatever. But I was told that I could not take those because of other medications that I was prescribed for other ailments that my body has since gotten past due to being gluten-free, of all things. So I live a rather healthy lifestyle. I exercise pretty much every day in some form or another. Don't necessarily make it to the gym, but there's other things I do. And I eat fairly healthy and keep up to date with the studies as far as nutrition and health go, especially with my particular ailments, and trying to look at a holistic approach. That was the one thing that many people always said to me, is like, you try to do everything so healthy, you try to live life, you try to eat right, you don't overindulge in the so-called indulgences. In other words, I don't drink very much, I don't eat very many sweets, I've cut certain types of sweets out, etc., etc. But you still smoke. It was like, Yeah, but I've cut down. Really, how much? Man, I'd be like about 1 or 2 a day. Folks, when I first retired from the military, I went from almost a pack a day smoker to within a couple of weeks after retiring being a pack and a half, dang near 2 pack a day smoker. And when I first moved in with my wife, it took a little bit to cut myself back to about 1 pack a day. And then I've had my spike days and had my lower days, but maintained about that average until about 6 weeks ago when I started doing the serious cutback. Every couple of days I would cut back by another cigarette. I would force my distance, my time between cigarettes a little bit longer. And I would wait a little bit longer in the morning before having that first one. And then yesterday I just woke up and said, I'm not having any. And I made it all day without a single cigarette. So, today's day 2. I'll tell you right now, yesterday I had urges. Right now, if somebody told me there was a pack of cigarettes hidden in the wall and I'd have to dig it out with my fingertips, I'd be doing it. So I'm exercising my willpower to not succumb. So everybody kind of send your well wishes or prayers my way for that. And folks, I'm not doing this. I mean, I am doing it for myself, but I'm also doing it to show other people that it can be done. Because if I can do it, anybody can. And I'm also doing this for my family, guys. Not just doing it. I'm doing it to set a better example to people. Blah blah blah. Set a better example to my kids. Blah blah blah. But I'm doing it because I want to be healthier. I want to stick around and see all the important things, which I guess would be kind of a selfish way of looking at it. But I'm also quitting simply because they asked me to. They've been asking me to for a while, and I've been kind of sort of doing it half-hearted. Well, that's not half-hearted, folks. So, that's news with me. Kind of something to start this week off with. I know you all really care so much about what things I indulge in outside of being on the show here. I know you're all really into all that stuff because y'all love to chase after what's going on with celebrities, of which I am not one. But one of the biggest problems that a lot of people quitting smoking have is not so much getting through the day, because there's ways of getting through it. You find something to do. You drink a little bit more water. Some people will crack a Coke. And I'm talking about a Coca-Cola, folks. I'm not talking about the illicit stuff. Some people drink a little bit more coffee, black coffee, instead of with creamer. They take the sugar out, just something they have at that bitter spike in there. Some people suck on Tootsie Roll Pops, or Tootsie Pops. I know Yul Brenner. Was it Yul Brenner? No, not Yul Brenner. The other guy that played Kojak. He did that. Other people do different things. But there's something to take your mind off it during the day. But one of the biggest things is at night, is when you're laying there trying to go to sleep, and that's when your brain kind of floats back to, God, I need this. And most of the people I've talked to when they're quitting, that's the first thing. So even people who use the drugs, they still want that nighttime ritual, and that's where when their brain gets most actively engaged in wanting to get that. So that's when people you kind of sit up a little bit trying to get to sleep, and all you're thinking about is that drug, which really is what nicotine is. Well, on a similar subject, Christine, one of the writers over at BuzzPo, she did something I was looking at doing. I have to see how we compare, but she wrote an article called 12 Simple Tips to Help You Fall Asleep Faster and Wake Up More Rested. And I'm always interested in these articles. I read similar ones in things like Psychology Today and Counseling Today, both of which the Free Range Texan, of course, gets subscriptions to, because that's what she does for a living. In fact, today she starts working for a new firm, doing that thing, for a little bit more money, a little bit more, I don't know, fulfillment than she had been recently. So, yeah. So to my wife, the Free Range Texan, just a quick shout out. Congratulations on the new job. Hope it goes well today. But But back to Christine's story. Number one, she says to work up a regular bedtime routine. It's something you normally do with kids. It's something you should do for yourself. You know, I heard about this a long time ago, and I kind of have had my similar routine for a long time now. Of course, moving in with my then fiance, now wife, things had to alter a little bit, but I set a routine pretty quickly. I try to get one set with her too, but she's younger than me, so of course she knows better. Make sure your bedroom is set at a comfortable temperature. Something to help you go to sleep, but at the same time, something that's warm enough, which is always something. Now I've got one of those weird body temperatures where I'll wake up freezing and it'll be 85 degrees, or I'll wake up sweating and it'll be 65. So for me, that really doesn't work very well. But it's a good idea for a lot of people. You don't want to get up and have to get energized because you need to control your environment or your environmental controls for your house. Number 3, and this is one that Free Range Tex and I just talked about last night, is stop using your smartphone or your iPad, either one, for a flippin' alarm clock. Don't. Because when you go to set your alarm, then you sit there and play with it, which the Free Range Texan was doing yesterday. She was going through trying to pick her alarm. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get to sleep, and she should already have been asleep, given that today she was starting her new position. I'm like, honey, just turn the damn thing off. I've got my alarm set. There's another alarm over there. Oh, it doesn't work. Yes, it does. It doesn't wake me up. So what? It gets me up. So if I get up, I'll get you up in time. So, and this morning she did. I didn't even have to get her up. But it says not to use your phone as an alarm clock. And I've heard about that several times. And folks, it's not the alarm itself. Here's what it is. Every single flippin' email, text message, Facebook post, Twitter post, whatever you have hooked that it makes a little noise, or even if it's on anything that makes a notification, that thing's going to light up and it's going to make a noise, or it's going to vibrate, which is still a noise, and it's going to give you a restless sleep. It's going to continually wake you up throughout the night. Or you are going to become desensitized to it, and it won't wake you up at all when the alarm goes off because you're going to be too used to the thing, so you're just going to sleep through it. So either it's going to mess up your sleep cycle, your circadian rhythm is what they call it, or it's going to, you're just going to end up ignoring it eventually. You'll be able to sleep through it. That's one of the biggest reasons. The other one, of course, is you're going to pick the thing up and want to play with it. And then the third thing is, it's the snooze alarm aspect. And I know on the Free Range Texan's phone, her snooze goes over 3 minutes, whereas my regular alarm clock is either every 8 minutes or 9 minutes, which is closer to a proper circadian rhythm kind of interruption, which is fine. But that thing, using a snooze alarm is not good, because it means you're actually going to try to get up earlier than you want, and you kind of lay there in that half awake, half asleep state, which doesn't allow you to get into a proper circadian rhythm. You're not getting enough sleep. You're becoming more restless. You're laying there half active, half asleep. You're better off sleeping half that time that you spend on snooze in a deeper sleep, and then getting up for that other half the time that you're laying there. It gives you more energy for the day, gets you more well rested. I don't know if Kristen got into that aspect, but that's the one thing, and that's pretty prevalent when it comes to your smartphones. Just leave the thing in another room. If it's that much of an emergency that somebody needs to call you, you should have a home phone that they call in emergency, not the look at the cute picture of cat